I'm Selena, an educator with 20 years of teaching experience and a test prep expert with Study.com. In this video, we'll focus on the FTCE Social Science 6 through 12 037 exam, specifically the Knowledge of Economics section. You'll review key topics like supply and demand, opportunity cost, market structures, monetary and fiscal policy, and global trade. Let's dive in and get you exam ready. Which of the following best describes the role stock markets play in a market economy? A. They seek to balance wealth disparities among participating businesses. B. They influence a nation's foreign policy. C. They determine the prices of goods and services. Or D. They allow for buying and selling of shares in corporations. A. Balance wealth disparities is incorrect. Stock markets don't aim to reduce or balance wealth. B. Influence foreign policy is incorrect. Stock markets don't directly affect a nation's foreign policy decisions. C. Determine price of goods and services is incorrect. That's done by supply and demand, not the stock market. The correct answer is D. They allow for buying and selling of shares in corporations. Stock markets provide a platform for buying and selling ownership shares in corporations. These transactions allow corporations to raise capital while providing investors a way to profit from a corporation's success. Without selling stock, many corporations would not possess the capital to continue the pursuit of innovation in their respective fields. Which of the following economic indicators would economists most likely use to measure the overall health of an economy? A. The number of new businesses opening. B. The number of bankruptcies. C. Gross domestic product. Or D. The price of a group of stocks. A. Number of new businesses is incorrect. Helpful, but too narrow to show the full picture of the economy. B. Number of bankruptcies is incorrect. This shows the economy's struggles, but not the overall health. D. Price of a group of stocks is incorrect. Stock prices reflect part of the economy, but they can rise and fall for many reasons unrelated to total production. The correct answer is C. Gross domestic product, or GDP. GDP represents the total value of all goods and services produced over a specific time period within a country's borders. It is a comprehensive measure that is often used to gauge a nation's overall economic activity and health. The Federal Reserve purchases $500 million in U.S. government bonds with cash. What is the result of this purchase on the money supply and interest rate? A. Increase money supply, increase interest rate. B. Decrease money supply, increase interest rate. C. Increase money supply, decrease interest rate. Or D. Decrease money supply, decrease interest rate. A. Increase money supply and increase interest rate is incorrect. When money supply increases, interest rates usually fall. B. Decrease money supply, increase interest rate is incorrect. The Fed is buying bonds, which puts more money into the economy, so the money supply doesn't decrease. D. Decrease money supply, decrease interest rate is incorrect. A decrease in money supply would usually raise interest rates, not lower them. The correct answer is C. Increase money supply, decrease interest rate. When the Federal Reserve purchases U.S. government bonds with cash, the money supply increases as the cash goes into the economy. Because there is a greater supply of cash, the interest rate decreases as the demand curve for cash moves to the right. Which of the following statements is true about variable and fixed rate loans? A 2-to-1 variable rate means that the rate will be cut in half after 1 year. B. The rate on a fixed rate loan stays the same throughout the life of the loan. C. Variable rates are an advantage for the consumer, but a disadvantage for banks. Or D. The term of a variable rate loan changes, but the interest rate stays the same through the life of the loan. A 2-to-1 variable rate means the rate will be cut in half. This is false. It means the rate stays fixed for 2 years, then can adjust every 1 year, not that it's cut in half. C. Variable rates are always a consumer advantage. Not true. They can go up or down, helping or hurting both the consumer and the bank. D, term changes but rate stays the same is wrong. With variable rate loans, the rate changes, not the term. The correct answer is B. The rate on a fixed rate loan stays the same throughout the life of the loan. The interest rate on a variable rate loan can change after a certain amount of time. 2 to 1 refers to the timing of the change of the rate of the variable rate loan. Variable rates can be an advantage for both consumers and banks depending on trends of interest rates. Thanks for joining me today as we worked through some practice questions for the FTCE Social Science 6 through 12 037 exam. For even more detailed practice strategies and customizable study materials, head over to study.com. Those who use study.com boast a 92% pass rate. Our courses include full-length exams, hundreds of authentic practice questions, and short, targeted video lessons, specifically developed based on the latest test updates. With our resources, you'll know exactly what to expect on test day. Like this video and subscribe to this channel to get all the latest FTCE test updates. And please leave your questions and success stories in the comments. We would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Happy studying.